Hello students, I hope you are all fine and in good health. In this audio presentation, I will be discussing sentence and its classification. So dear students, let's start. See, at the very beginning, we have to know what is a sentence. The definition of a sentence is very important. So let's come to that. A sentence refers to a set of arranged words that conveys a complete sense or a thought by giving an order, statement, or asking any questions or exclaiming. Now, when a sentence particularly is a set of arranged words that conveys a complete sense, or you may say a thought by giving an order or a statement or asking any questions or exclaiming. Now, examples of sentences like he is a good guy, please do it. Is he a good guy? Interrogative sentence. What a nice morning! Exclamatory sentence. But basically, all these are examples of sentences. Now, types of sentences. Now, dear students, you have to know one thing, that in case of types of sentences, basically it is divided into two main parameters. Now, types of sentences based on function and types of sentences based on structure. So this is something very important. This is something you all should know about. Now let me discuss first types of sentences based on function. First one is declarative sentence, next one is imperative sentence, third one is interrogative sentence, and fourth one is exclamatory sentence. Now these are types of sentences based on function. Now if we consider the types of sentences based on structure, then here also we get to see four divisions, like simple sentence, like compound sentence, like complex sentence, like compound complex sentence. These are the four divisions. So let us concentrate first on classification of sentences based on function. I already referred to the division, four divisions. Again I am explaining the four divisions. Number one is declarative sentence, number two is imperative sentence, number three is interrogative sentence, and number four is exclamatory sentence. Now the type of sentences are usually defined based on their function. According to the function, sentences are classified into four main categories. Number one, declarative sentence. As I told you, number two is imperative sentence, number three is interrogative sentence, and number four is exclamatory sentences. Now let us concentrate on declarative sentence. What exactly is declarative sentence? See, basically a declarative sentence refers to an assertive sentence that usually expresses a feeling or an opinion and or makes a statement or define things. In particular, it makes a declaration. So there lies the concept of the term declarative sentence, because ultimately in particular it makes a declaration. The declarative sentence can include any tenses. It can include present tense, it can include past tense, or it can use future tense also, or it can include future tense also. Now come to the example. Let us come to the example now. So first example is, I want to be a good singer. So actually it is, if you want to critically evaluate this particular example, if you want to critically analyze this particular example, dear students, so I want to be a good singer, it is related with a statement, a positive or affirmative declarative sentence. Now if I say I am not very happy today, so it expresses a feeling. And what sort of a feeling? I am not very happy today. In the sentence there is a not is used. So obviously it is something that signifies negative, so it will be negative declarative sentence. Now the second one in the list, it was imperative sentence. Now let us know what exactly is an imperative sentence. Now normally when we talk about imperative sentence, order, request, all these things comes to our mind. So basically an imperative sentence usually makes a request, gives an order, gives instructions, or gives advice. So basically imperative sentence are related with making a request, giving an order, giving instructions, or giving advice. More specifically, if we say, this type of sentence is used to tell people what to do. Sometimes it might be related with a request, sometimes it might be related with an order, sometimes it might be related with giving instructions, sometimes it is related with giving advice. So basically this type of sentence is used to tell people what exactly to do. Moreover, imperative sentences are also used to give a direction to a person, whoever is being addressed. That is why they are also known as directives. Now, some of the examples of imperative sentences are as follows. First one, go to the nearest bank and make that deposit. Obviously, this is an instruction being given, followed by a full stop. Then again, come to the next example, get your hands up now, exclamatory sentence. So it is actually a command, get your hands up now. We say no, hands up. The police, the cops, they say hands up. So actually it is a command, and obviously it is followed by an exclamation point, or you can say full exclamation mark. So in both the above example, the subject is you, which is hidden or understood. Actually in both the examples that I referred just now, the subject is you. Basically it is hidden, or you have to understand about it. Now the next one in the category is interrogative sentence. Very important. An interrogative sentence refers to a type of sentence that asks only questions. Remember, the term interrogative means there will be a question mark at the end of the sentence, and normally an interrogative sentence asks questions only. Typically these sentences usually begin with WH interrogatives. Now WH interrogatives such as what, who, when, why, whose, etc. However, it mainly depends on the type of interrogative sentence. Apart from this, they always end with a question mark. Question mark you can say, dear students, or you can say interrogative mark. Now, some of the examples of interrogative sentences. Number one, will you join me? This is an example of interrogative sentence. Next one, when are you going to visit the Taj Mahal? This is also an example of interrogative sentence. See, do you prefer to go to watch a movie or shopping? See, at the end there is a question mark. Are you going to the market? Aren't you? There is a question mark. So all these are examples of interrogative sentence. Now another one was in the list, that is exclamatory sentence. So what exactly is this? Let us come to the definition part. Let us know a bit regarding exclamatory sentence, and then we will move on to the example part. So what exactly is an exclamatory sentence? An exclamatory sentence refers to a sentence that generally expresses strong human feelings or emotions. Normally, exclamatory sentence expresses strong human feelings or emotions. Now, what type of emotions? Like wonder, sorrow, happiness, anger, etc. That means very strong human emotions like sorrow, wonder, anger, happiness. Now, while listening, it is easy to distinguish an exclamatory sentence. We can't identify this type of sentence by the tone of the person's voice that conveys the emotion. Besides, while writing, exclamatory sentences are followed by exclamatory sign. That is the inverse I. The sign is like the inverse I. Now, what are the examples? How sweet, Happy New Year, what a tasty burger, how he is such a wonderful writer, I cannot believe she would do that. All this sentence, if you look very closely, at the end there is the exclamatory mark. Remember, whenever we express or we tend to express strong human emotions, feelings, sorrows, wonder, etc., we use exclamatory sentences. Okay, now one more important thing we should know about, that is there are many ways to express or write an exclamatory sentence. We should use this type of sentence very carefully. And another important instruction to all of you, that we should never use them while writing reports, projects, educational purposes, etc. While we are writing reports, we are writing projects, we are writing anything based on educational purpose, at that time exclamatory sentences should not be used. Now let us move on the classification of sentences based on structure. As I referred to every one of you with the chart that I had shown earlier, there based on structure, sentences are here also divided into four main categories. First one is simple sentence or sentences, next one compound sentences, third one complex sentences, fourth one compound complex sentences. That means it is a combination of compound as well as complex sentences. Now let us come to the first one. What is a simple sentence? So let us read about simple sentence. A simple sentence refers to a sentence that only includes one clause, a verb which remains independent. It cannot have any other clause under any circumstances. That means it should have only one clause. That clause is the principal clause. The sentence must have a complete thought comprising of a subject. This is very important. This is all the structural information related with grammar, particularly related with a sentence or a sentence construction, that it should have a complete thought process comprising of a subject. Now, the following are some common examples of simple sentences. What are those? First one, I always wanted to become a cricketer. This is a sentence that expresses a complete sense in it. And remember, it should have a complete sense, and it should have a one clause. That is something that also you should know. It should have a verb, one verb, a verb. Can I have some water to drink, please? This is actually an interrogative sentence, but it belongs to the category of simple sentence. Now, if you check both the two examples that I right now had mentioned, there you will find that both the above sentences are simple, and each sentence has only one clause, a verb. And if you check it also, you will find that it contains, both the two sentences contains only one clause, a verb. Okay. Now, what is a compound sentence? This is something that also we should know about. What exactly is a compound sentence? A compound sentence refers to a sentence that has at least two independent clauses with no dependent clauses. That means it has two principal clauses, but it has no subordinate clauses. Dear students, remember, principal clause is independent clause. They can stand on its own and they can express itself very properly. Subordinate clause are the dependent clause. They always depend on the principal clause to express itself properly. So you should know about this difference or the distinction between the principal clause and the subordinate clause. Now I am referring to the definition once again. A compound sentence refers to a sentence that has at least two independent clauses with no dependent clauses. That means without any subordinate clauses, but the predominance of two principal clauses or main clauses. Just like this, it was too hot outside, but the chocolate did not melt. See, it is joined by a conjunction but, and the two principal clauses both are self-sufficient to express itself properly. Just like it was too hot outside, this also expresses itself properly. The chocolate did not melt, this part also can express itself properly. And here you see both the two parts are joined by a conjunction but. Let us come to another example. I wiggled the doorbell and the baby smiled. Another one, I always wanted to become a comedian or a stand-up comedian, and my sister wanted to become a writer. So if you check both the examples, you will find that each and every example, each and every part of the main example is sufficient to express itself properly. That means both the two sentences are self-sufficient. So we can say they are the principal clause of the main clause. And obviously they are joined by the conjunction and in example 2. The conjunction and is used in example 3 also. But whereas in example 1, we find that the conjunction but has been used. Now let us come to the clarification part related to the above 3 examples. See, it is written, all the above examples have 2 independent clauses. It is important to note that we cannot form a compound sentence using 2 sentences with completely unrelated ideas. Now, if the 2 ideas are totally dissimilar, unrelated to one another, then it is not possible for us to form a compound sentence. That means there should be a proper idea, there should be a proper coordination between the 2 sentences. Otherwise, a compound sentence is very difficult to form. If there is no affinity, if there is no coordination, if there is no related ideas between the 2 sentences. If the 2 sentences consist of both 2 unrelated ideas or issues, then we can't form a compound sentence. Now let us move on to the second last one, complex sentence. What exactly is a complex sentence? See, a complex sentence refers to a type of sentence that include more than one clause, where one of them should be an independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. That means in a complex sentence, unlike a compound sentence where there is 2 principal clauses, in case of complex sentence there is 1 principal clause followed by 1 or more than 1 subordinate clause or dependent clause. Now let us come to the example which will make it more clear to us. See, first example, whenever we come to this restaurant, we eat burgers and pizza. If we focus on the next example, then I am focusing on the elaboration part. See the next example, she will be able to sing a melodious song if she keeps practicing. Now let us focus on both the 2 examples. Now remember, see, both the examples are complex sentences but are connected differently. But if you check it properly, you will find that they are connected in a very different manner. If we take the first example into due consideration, and what is the first example? It is written, whenever we come to this restaurant, we eat burgers and pizza, isn't it? This is the first example. The dependent clause is used first, while in the second example, the independent clause is put first. If you see the first example, you will find that the dependent clause is put first. That means the subordinate clause is used at the very beginning, whereas in the second sentence, the main clause or the independent clause or the principal clause is put first, or it is used at the very beginning. And now moreover, it is important to note that we usually place a comma after it when we first use the dependent clause. Besides, when we first use the independent clause, we generally use subordinate conjunction to link clauses. Remember this, in case of independent clause, generally we use subordinate conjunction to link the clauses. So this is something you should all know about. Now I am moving on to the next one. What is the next one? The last one, compound complex sentences. So as the name suggests, if you check it properly, what the name suggests, compound complex sentences is defined as a sentence created by joining compound and complex sentences. Normally, as the name suggests, there is a hyphen in between compound and complex. Normally this type of sentence is formed by joining compound and complex sentences. Moreover, in particular, they are usually joined using coordinating conjunctions. Moreover, this type of sentence must have at least 2 independent clauses and 1 or more than 1 subordinate clause or dependent clause. This is something we should all know about. That while we are analyzing a compound complex sentence, at that time this is something for our knowledge we should know, that it must have at least 2 independent clauses and one or more than one dependent clause or subordinate clause. Very important for us to note. Now, what are the examples of compound complex sentences that we should know about? See the example. I know that you always try to become a good singer, but I always try to become a cricketer. Now, if you check this example, I am repeating this example once again. I know that you always try to become a good singer, but I always try to become a cricketer. Now, in this example, a dependent clause is subordinate clause that always depends on the main clause or the principal clause to express itself properly, is followed using a complex connector. Additionally, two independent clauses join it using compound conjunction between them. But, okay, as here it is used, it is important to follow the rules of both the complex and compound sentences when making compound complex sentences. We have to follow the rules very properly. Now, to end up this particular audio presentation, see, there is something that has to be mentioned. Some tips to compose a sentence. What are some of the tips that you should remember? Number one, when relaying a piece of information or answering a question, we must use a declarative sentence. When we are relaying a piece of information or answering a particular question, we must use a declarative sentence. That is something very important. Then another one, when asking a question, we must use an interrogative sentence. Yes, whenever we are asking a question, we must use an interrogative sentence. Third one, when telling someone what to do, we must use an imperative sentence, whether it is request, order, advice. Normally we use imperative sentence. These things you all have to keep in mind. Then when there is an emotion, we can better express it using an imperative sentence. In case of emotion also, we can use imperative sentence, and to some extent we can use exclamatory sentence also if it is related with strong human emotions. However, we can change the function and form of the sentence accordingly, especially when there is a change in tonation. That means when there is a change in clarity, when there is a change in tone, we can obviously change the function and form of the sentence, and we can change it accordingly. Now that change will be related with the change in intonation. That is something very important. Okay, dear students, kindly go through this audio presentation, and if there is any problem anywhere, let me know about it. Thank you, students. Thank you all.